Hi, Caspar here on the 17th of January 2022. We're in far northern Italy here in Piedmont. This is a wine that was given to me, a few bottles, by a friend for my birthday, and had one, and this is so the second one, and the last one, so he gave me 2 bottles, very kind of him. What is it? It's 1998. As is so often the case with Italian wines, there are so many words on the label, it's like reading a book, goodness me. But here we go, 1998, so far so straightforward. Barbaresco, that's easy as well. I have done a little bit of research, so the name of the estate is Carome, about which I know nothing at all, and the cuvée is Rio Sordo. If that means anything, there we are, and just 13.5% alcohol, which on a Piemontese Nebbiolo label these days is pretty low. They all seem to be at least 14, if not 14.5% alcohol. So what have we got? Really deep in colour. It's not quite opaque, but it's not far off, and it's, as you'd expect with a 1998, it's got real signs of age to it. It's mahogany at the rim, really, and dark blackish garnet at the core. Yeah, clearly you can tell it's a wine that's had quite a lot of bottle age. And I decanted this, how long ago? I would say 2 hours ago. Yeah, and so it's just been sitting there. And clearly the nose is going to be, a wine of this age is going to be really tertiary. And it's got a sort of smudgy breadth, like a sort of fruit paste that includes a lot of nuttiness, includes quite a lot of smokiness, a sort of a minty freshness to it, but dark. You know, it's autumnal. It's a smell of a extinguished bonfire, and it sort of smells like a wine of the earth. You know, it's got a rootiness about it. It's got a smoky licorice root sort of smell, and quite snappy dark plum fruit to it as well. As I say, there's this sort of paste-like character to the fruit, which is definitely relaxed and spread out since I put it in a decanter. But it still smells fresh. Ooh. And clearly it's a wine that is fully resolved, and it's a fresh wine. It's got decent concentration. It's got really good tannic concentration as well, and those tannins have sort of melted and formed this sort of tacky, slightly gluey texture within the wine. The acidity comes across as sort of orangey acidity. There's something nutty along with that dark fruit. Perhaps walnutty or hazelnutty. Hazelnut's a massive crop, farmed crop up in Piemonte, so perhaps that's a bit fanciful, but yeah, that smokiness sort of seems to come and go, but suddenly it's, having tasted the wine, it's particularly noticeable. got nice density, and much of the texture on the palate is taken up with the structure of the wine. These really rich, tacky tannins that just sort of stick to the teeth, but also clean the palate. I mean, I suspect most reports would state that this wine's beyond its drinking window and a bit over the top, but I think it's motoring along just fine, I've got to say. And as is so often the case with mature Nebbiolo, it's absolutely fascinating. Every time you go back to it, you smell something slightly different. There's a note of fresh mushrooms to it now. Yeah, I mean, it's clearly fully mature, and I wouldn't keep this more than about another 5 minutes in bottle. No, it's not fair. I think it's, drink very soon if anyone's got any left, which I suspect they haven't. But it's a really nice thing. Yeah, clean as a whip, lots of character, complex, and very interesting. So I'm going to try and refresh my and your memories as to what I'm actually tasting. 1998 Barbaresco Rio Sordo from an estate called Carome. Well, thanks, Jeffrey. And it was Jeffrey who gave it to me. Not a really nice drink. I'm enjoying it.